Boom.
Awesome.
And we're
Cool.
live.
So I'm live with Austin Summers. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a legendary dating coach. And now you're going viral on YouTube. You last time I talked to you, you had like maybe like 15K. Now you're at 50K, which is dope. You just debated some black pill dude yesterday, and that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna talk about some dating and some supplements. But is there anything else you'd like to add to that introduction?
No, that's pretty good. I mean, the thing that I think about myself now is I'm just a dating transformation coach. Like it's not just about, oh, here's some tips and tricks that work. It's about fundamentally changing a relationship with yourself that changes the relationship with women. And
Fire.
yeah, I like setting up an environment with my in-person immersion programs where I make that shift. But yeah, today we're going to talk about health, which I think is interesting. So Logan asked me to give you guys some information, some knowledge about health and supplements, both for himself and for the audience. So I think everyone would kind of benefit from this. So I'm streaming it to my audience too. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
cool.
ready to get
Yeah.
into
So I
it?
mean, for your audience watching, I've known Austin for a decent amount of time, and I kind of got into this space accidentally by posting a bunch of videos of me going viral with me making out with chicks, getting with chicks at parties, and it kind of transformed into the same thing. Bringing guys along this journey, helping guys out, giving advice, and also roasting some feminists on podcasts. So that's kind of like my background. Recently, I've been doing a bunch of events in person and around the world. Uh, and you guys can check that out on my Instagram at the Logan Duong. But we do like in person events with girls. I wouldn't really say it's like boot camps and stuff like that with what Austin is doing. It's more of just like high end luxury experiences, helping guys grow their personal brands, and then we help them with those things here and there. And the one thing that a lot of the guys lacked on for sure is uh, their understanding and importance of the food that they're eating and what they're putting into their bodies. And I saw a clip of you posting onto your story, like a 4-minute video of like all your supplements, everything you're digesting and putting into your body, um, and all the cool pills and stuff you're taking. And I thought that shit was super interesting. I actually screen recorded a bunch of it because I was super interested myself, and I want to learn from you specifically and see what you do because it's not like you're not like a huge bodybuilder trying to get swole and jacked and fucking trying to look big, right? You're just more of trying to have an overall holistic approach to living life and what
Yeah.
benefits you, which is dope. And I fuck with that, and that kind of resonates with me a lot more. So
Yeah, my main thing is I just want to be healthy because if you're
yeah,
just healthy, so many things fall into place. Number one, you're going to look more attractive. You improve your aesthetics just by being healthier. So your skin looks
yeah,
better. You feel better. You have more mental energy that helps you with work. You're better like in bed because you just have better sexual energy. Um,
yeah.
you can just drive that energy into all areas of your life and just feel good in your body. And then obviously, like it helps to have some decent muscle too. So yeah, the things that I want to have you guys write down is basically like the power laws. So if you just focus on the top things, it's gonna result in the biggest impact. Like a lot of people, they focus on like uh this minutia that's like not very important. Like, is there BPA in my fucking I have like tissues here. Like, is there BPA in the tissues? Like some of that stuff is okay. Yeah, that's to do later down the line when you're already doing the main thing. So focus on the main things to have the biggest impact. And these are what I call the power laws, and they apply to everything. So, you know, I have a video on my YouTube, basically the power laws of game. It's like if you do these, four things, that's gonna result in the biggest bang for your buck in dating. And then for health, for me, this is what they would be. Number one would be sleep. So a couple things with this, you want to sleep in a dark room. So just pitch black room. What I have is I have curtains that are set up with a robot called what is it called? Switchbot. And so instead of an alarm clock, sometimes I just have the light open or wake me up. So reduce artificial light at night to dim all your lights. Make your room cold. Like ideally, it's around like 69 degrees. um, What
Yeah.
else do I do there? I mean, I have entire videos on this. I don't want to go so deep into it, but the main thing is sleep is the number one in that power law. Like if you have shitty sleep, you're not gonna have good health. Your
Yeah.
testosterone's gonna be fucked up. Your muscle protein synthesis is gonna be fucked up. So sleep's number one. Number two would be diet and nutrition. So like Logan said, a lot of people just put whatever they want. They just put anything into their mouth like a whore. They have no like barrier. They have no like they're like, oh, is this partially edible? Let me eat it. And
Yeah.
man,
I think
I would
for the
say
for
go
the
ahead.
military, dude, that's a huge thing for the guys in the military, bro. Because I've been in the military for the past 3.5 years. Um, that is a huge thing when it comes to like your health. Obviously, when we're out in the field, we're doing training. We can't really eat much besides preserved food, right? But when we're off, it's like it's huge to take care of health. And most guys they lack on that, just because it's like, oh, it's so easy to go out and grab like fast food, and this is like with most Americans too, not just in the military, but like most people overall, bro, like they are not eating healthy. They're eating fast foods, they're eating fried foods, they're eating a bunch of seed oils, and then they wonder why they're depressed, right? They wonder why they're not happy, right? And yeah, they put anything into their mouth like a whore, and then they wonder why they're depressed. It's the same thing with a bunch of chicks too, bro. Is like um, they're just popping a bunch of pills, doing whatever. It's not
Mm,
good. And
yeah,
I guess to really sell it to the guys is like, bro, when you elevate what you're putting into your body, I guarantee like your mental clarity and like how you're gonna do your work is gonna be a million times better. You're gonna make more money.
yeah.
You're gonna be more successful. And when you're talking to chicks, you're gonna feel more confident. I can like when you work out or do whatever before you do anything, dude, it just elevates everything you do. And so same thing with eating healthy and doing the right things. It's just gonna boost your confidence. Knowing that you're taking care of yourself, that's a huge thing. Knowing that you're taking care of yourself, and you're actually putting in the work. One thing that Ty Lopez said recently, he said, people invest where their heart is. And I was like, oh fuck, that's so true because a lot of people, if I were to look at their bank accounts, because I have a lot of people come to me like, Logan, I want to get rich. I want to drive a Porsche too. I want to drive supercars as well. I want to have my own house at 21. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see your bank account. And I could tell immediately where they're spending their money is a direct reflection of where their heart is and where they believe they're going to go, right? Because people bet on themselves every single day. And most people, they bet on themselves not as much as they should be. So they're afraid to invest into hundreds of dollars worth of supplements. I guarantee your supplement stack, bro, is probably $1,000, way more than $1,000, right?
um, per month, no, but
Really? Okay.
yeah. Dude, can you allow me to share my screen and
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
on
yeah.
the? I don't know what I'm sharing it, but it's okay. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just think it'd be better if people could visualize this as well as we went through. Oh, I should
Yeah,
put
that's
this
dope.
on my other monitor. So yeah. So we got the diet and nutrition part. Before I actually researched this even more, I thought it was the single greatest lever. I think it's the number two. And yeah, most people only think about health in one aspect or their diet in one aspect, which is their body composition, which basically means like how fat or lean they are. But your nutrition affects all this other stuff too. Your bone density, your skin, your teeth, your hair, your nails, your eye health, your digestive function, your inflammation, your longevity, your disease risk, how your hormones work. Like if your testosterone is low, a lot that can partially be caused by your diet. Your body composition does affect testosterone like super super hardcore though. Energy levels, mental health, even your sense of smell, your body composition. Like there's a lot of things that just your diet alone can influence. And this is the thing. Like people, I had that debate yesterday. It was basically with a guy who only thinks that looks are the only thing. In my opinion, I think you can improve your looks by about 2 points if you just optimize your health, you optimize your hygiene, you optimize your fashion, your grooming, even like the accessories you wear and all that kind of shit. I think you can optimize your health by about 2 points. And the thing is, most people are not near their genetic potential at all. Like 50% of adults have at least one chronic condition. 70% of American deaths are caused by chronic disease. 73% of US adults are overweight or obese. So that means that the odds are people watching this, our audience probably it would be less than the standard population, but still it's really bad. Diabetic,
Yeah, for sure.
pre-diabetic. So yeah, nutrition is one of the most undervalued aspects about improving your game too, because what you eat impacts your vibe. If you're eating shit that is like fucking up your brain and making you feel bad in your body, that's going to come off in your communication. Like the four levels of communication: what you say, how you say it, your intent, and then how you feel about yourself. Like how you
Yeah,
feel about yourself is going to be impacted by this as well.
yeah,
Yeah, so this is what I think is the best diet, but in general, like the general tips I would give is just if you're eating higher food quality, that means you're eating organic or you're eating local and you're eating whole food, so not minimally processed. Almost every food you eat will be processed in some way, but you want to stay away from ultra processed foods like
hmm
um uh you know, what would be an example? Like crackers or something. You know, something that they
anything in a bag or a box, basically.
yeah, and another good like tip there is stay on the outside of a grocery store because that's where like the most nutrient dense food is. So that's where the fruit is, the vegetables are, the meat, the seafood, the eggs, the dairy. So, did you remove the thing? Do you not want me to show it?
No, I'll show it. I thought you were just talking. That's why. Oh fuck. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay.
Where is it?
Um,
This one. There we
but
go.
yeah, basically, if you want to follow like the most nutrient dense diet, it would be this. It's the animal based diet. So meat, organs, fruit, honey, and then you can even add in there raw dairy. So like a cheese like Parmigiano Reggiano is going to be raw. And you prioritize meat and organs from well raised animals. So that'd be like cows, bison, goats, sheep. Monogastric animals like pigs and chicken, I still eat, but less often because they are all fed corn and soy, and it basically stores this omega-6 linoleic acid in their fat, and they're just like it's basically like you're eating seed oils like through their fat in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then for just muscle building, you want to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and you can track that in an app like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly difficult to do. Like most people are not getting that unless you're eating like just ground beef and stuff and steak all the
Yep.
time. Organs. The only one I really take is liver, and I eat that frozen. Basically, I just get liver. It comes frozen. I cut it up into little cubes, and it's frozen in my freezer. And then I take it out and I eat it with my meal, basically, and I just swallow it. I don't even chew it. Um, Organic pasture raised eggs, wild caught sockeye salmon. So if you prioritize, like Logan was saying, you just want to prioritize things. Make it a priority in your life to have good health. Like it's one of the most important things is like what you eat, and it
Yeah.
becomes literally who you are, your cells, your body.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a big objection a lot of people have is like, oh, but it's more expensive. Yes, in the upfront cost is a little bit more expensive. But if you look at your whole entire lifetime spectrum of eating good quality foods, I
mhm,
guarantee you're going to have less health problems. You're going to have less issues. You're going to have more higher quality results with women in your business. And so, if you think about it this way, either way you pay. I tell this to all the people
yeah,
that come to me. It's like, bro, either way you're gonna pay. Either you come to my event and you learn and you start to adopt this mindset that's gonna help you become more successful, or you don't and you're gonna struggle and thinking that, oh, I'm gonna save money, or I'm gonna save time, or I could do it by myself. And you realize the hard way that, oh fuck, I actually wasted time. I wasted money. Same thing if people don't go into your coaching or your programs. It's the same fucking thing, and the same thing with your health too. Do the upfront, right? It might initially sting out of your bank accounts, whatever the fuck. But I truly believe that, bro. This is way more important than however much money you have. Like eating healthy and trying to invest in this stuff is very, very important. So get the money objections out of your head before, before even listening. Is like the main thing is you gotta understand this is way more important because either way you pay, bro. Either way you
mhm.
pay. So you either pay now or you're gonna pay much more later when you get fucking cancer from eating all this shit food, or you turn
Yeah,
into a soy boy. Yeah,
and do the best that you can with your current budget, and then as you get more and more wealthy, just increase the food quality over time. Like, um, you don't have to buy everything organic right now, although it is a big benefit for like it is one of those long-term things. Like there's not
Yeah,
that much difference in the nutrient quality, but what there is an absence of synthetic pesticides that have been linked to a lot of bad shit. Like the synthetic pesticides that we allow in the US are illegal in Europe. Like they don't allow them to have them. So it's like glyphosate, atrazine. The craziest one is atrazine. It's like an herbicide, and this is the one where you ever see that clip of what the fuck is his name?
the frog's gay,
Yeah,
Alex
yeah,
Jones.
it's turning the frogs gay. Yeah, Alex Jones. He's like, it's turning the freaking frogs gay. It's like, it actually, what it did, it took a male bullfrog, like an African male bullfrog, and it literally transformed its genitalia into female.
I mean, bro,
So it,
you see that. Look at all the people in LA, bro. You lived in LA for like 5 years. Most people start turning trans, bro.
yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. That people think that they're making all these choices, but what they don't realize is that when you're eating food like if you're eating food that's literally laced with atrazine for like decades, it's going to have an effect. Like, and that is the hypothesis, is that the preponderance of trans people is not just like a social contagion phenomenon where it's like, oh shit, people are doing it, so that influences more people to do it. But it's like, yeah, literally the food you're eating is turning you fucking trans.
Yeah, and the content
Supposedly.
they're watching. I mean,
Don't sue me,
it's just
Monsanto or whatever.
yeah, yeah. But bro, it's everything combined, bro. It's the content, it's the food, it's everything just hitting you at
Mm.
once. So
So let me show this
yeah,
what to avoid, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So
cool.
biggest things to avoid: seed oils, processed sugar, grains. If you avoid these
Mm,
three, you're going to be avoiding like literally the worst things that you could eat. So seed oils, like all these oils, canola, sunflower, blah 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 blah. They're linked to heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer, chronic health conditions. And dude, if you just take them out of your diet, you just feel better. Like I don't need a 10 meta analyses to tell me that this stuff makes me feel like shit. So
yeah,
what I cook with butter, ghee, and tallow. I don't cook with olive oil or avocado oil because they have this thing called the pair oxidation index, and they basically oxidize super fast. So
yep.
anyway, avoid processed sugars.
One thing I want
Um,
to add about the butter, bro, is a lot of people, and even myself, like 4 years ago, everyone and some people still believe that butter is bad for you, which is completely false, bro. Butter is actually really good for you, and they fucking taught they try to teach everyone that, oh, that shit's gonna clog your arteries or whatever the fuck, or whatever bullshit, and so they get you onto these seed oils, like bro, the hell,
yeah,
everything, yeah, they try to get everyone on seed oil. Yeah, it's cheaper, and everyone
and
uses
it
it for
is
preservative food, but yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. Canola oil didn't even exist to be eaten until like the 1970s. You couldn't even feed it to cows because there's this acid in it called erucic acid, and it would basically like kill you.
yep,
Um, Yeah, so they found a way to turn all of that. And if you look at the history, if you want to go down a deep rabbit hole that's like crazy, look up the history of canola. It stands for Canadian oil, and what they use, the reason why it's Canadian is because during World War II, America asked Canada to grow this oil, which is called rapeseed oil, so that they could lubricate their ships during war. And then after
yeah.
the war, they're like, okay, we have so many fields, like what should we do with it? And they're like, well, let's see if we could feed it to someone. And it took them like decades of chemistry to finally make it so it doesn't kill people. And then they started selling it. And now it's literally like the most popular oil like in the world, I think, or top three.
Yeah.
And then grains. So prior to like 10 to 12,000 years ago, grains were not eaten in any sort of abundance at all. And the craziest thing, yeah, anthropologists can tell whether a human fossil lived before or after the agricultural revolution, because after the agricultural revolution, the human height plummeted 6 inches. So instead of eating that hunter gatherer nutrient dense diet, which is meat, organs, fruit, honey, they basically switched to eating mostly either grains like wheat, corn, um, or eating just like only potatoes. And the human height dropped half a foot. It's insane.
That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah. So, and then also on top of that, just like for your own game and how you feel, like grains are gonna like make your breath smell bad. Like they fuck up your gut a lot. And I'd actually say one other thing I would say to add is beans. Like beans have of all these anti-nutrients up here, beans have like almost all of these, if not all of them. So phytoestrogens, they exert like a birth control effect. Phytic acid, they prevent mineral absorption, which can massively accelerate your if you have balding and if you have male pattern baldness, like if you can't get nutrients to your hair, you're not going to your hair is going to start like fucking up. So it's not the necessary cause, but it can accelerate it.
Yeah.
Lectins, shit ton of lectins in beans, poke holes in your gut lining, and that's what creates leaky gut. And so if you see people that like they just smell bad and they look bad and they're kind of like skinny fat, but they just have like this belly that's not
Mm.
just fat. It literally is they have leaky gut. So their food is like leaking into their body. Oxalates creates kidney stones, inflammation, arthritis. The worst thing for oxalates is actually spinach. Saponins dissolve cell membranes, digestive enzyme inhibitors, decreases protein absorption. So people will be like, "Oh, dude, there's so much protein in beans or soy or whatever." The problem is they have digestive enzyme inhibitors, so they're not even absorbing like they're absorbing like 60%, 70% of the things they're eating. But yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, do you want me to go to the third one, which is lifting, or do you want to talk about supplements?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the food stuff. I mean, yeah, the all that shit will fuck you up, and it's like kind of promoted everywhere. And so you kind of have to like everyone has to kind of retrain their brain and actually make an invested interest in doing their research before they just push it into their body because the news told them so or school told them so. Like, bro, the whole food pyramid in school, it's like it's so like let me
Yeah,
yeah, do you have the food pyramid how retarded it is, bro? Like you know they
yeah,
put like
it's
the top and
ridiculous.
shit. It's insane, bro. And everyone grew up learning that shit.
Yeah, and I think just like to tell people what to do because most restaurants are just not going to be good. Like if you go out to eat, most restaurants are going to cook in seed oils. They're going to cook.
Yeah,
They're going to give you lots of grains. They're going to give you lots of like, weird additives and stuff like that. Like you go to Chick-fil-A, you think you're eating like, oh, here's a bun made out of wheat. Here's chicken made out of chicken, and yeah, that's just what you're eating. No, dude, there's like 100 ingredients in some of the things. If you look at there's one guy I recommend everyone follow. I feel like this is the number one lever to getting people to be healthy. All I do, if I want someone to be healthy, I follow this guy, Paul Saladino, on
yeah, he's a
their
G.
Instagram, YouTube, podcasts, and then they are just and Instagram, and they are just constantly getting like shown like here's why this food is bad. So basically, he goes to every fast food joint and he'll be like, here's all the ingredients of what you're eating, and it's like there's like ingredients that are from silly putty and like weird additives and like things that are linked to cancer and autism and like they're just like yeah let's put that in there and it's
Yeah.
hard to say it's like is it necessary or is someone like deliberately trying to make Americans unhealthy so that we have to spend more in medical costs so that the medical industry gets propped up. I don't know. But
One
my
guy, one
my
guy I
thing
like
for you
watching is
guys,
Certified Health Nut, bro. He's funny as fuck.
but my thing for you guys is like the one of the best things to do if you're just starting out is just meal prep. Just at
Mm.
home, like make some fucking meat and just have it in your fridge for a few days and just eat that. Like and then have fruit, like you just grab a banana, whatever. Super simple. The other thing is like obviously there's this app. I don't want you guys don't need to buy it, but it's called Seed Oil Scout, and you can find out like where there are healthy restaurants around you. But yeah, just do some research, go into some Facebook groups. Like there's always every city has a local Facebook group called uh, foodies in whatever, and then just ask for like healthy places. And yeah, what I do now is I do have a female assistant now who she'll basically meal prep for me, and I'll
Yeah.
tell her like, here, meal prep this. I want ground beef, sweet potatoes, and I want you to prep like I like to eat yogurt with fruit. It's like one of my classic things. So yogurt, fruit, and then there's like a scoop of thing to put on top of it, and uh, yeah, but yeah, okay, let's move on.
Cool.
And then
So
lifting. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. So are we doing supplements or lifting?
Sure, we can talk about supplements. So I do want to share my screen for this one. Let
Sure.
me
So
share screen. We'll do personal supplements and supplements. Um yeah. So this is what I would recommend for people. So like if you just want to be like super good at game and like in the zone, these would be the three supplements that I would recommend. So lithium orotate, yeah, 5 milligrams of this BGG. Alpha Brain, this I'll take before doing podcasts. I didn't take it yet. I literally just start my morning routine. But Alpha Brain, it just kind of makes you like more switched on, improves your like verbal ability. And then New
cool.
Mood allows you to kind of just relax. And this is basically if you want to find like a cheaper version of this, just take some kind of magnesium. And ideally, what is it? Magnesium bisglycinate because it breaches the blood-brain barrier. But for game, these are the three best. General health, everyone should be taking creatine. I actually really like creatine monohydrate more. Just doesn't have the weird taste as HCl. So creatine monohydrate and vitamin D3. So when the sun isn't out, you need to take vitamin D supplement.
Mm.
And if you have no sun where you are, get a Spurty vitamin D sun lamp. But there's this other app called, and it's free. It's called D Minder. I don't know if you ever heard about this, but it's basically like uh, when you go in the sun, it tracks where you are, the position of the sun, and it'll tell you how much vitamin D you're getting by being in the sun with how much clothes you have off. Um, so those are like my two general health ones. Sleep, magnesium before sleep really helps. Magnesium's responsible for 40 physiological processes that relate to sleep and relaxation. So super important. I actually don't take this one anymore. I just take magnesium bisglycinate. Yeah. And actually the Calm supplement. Calm. And then occasionally, like if I really need help falling asleep, or I'm like, super stressed or something, or I just played a lot of sports and my body's aching, then I take CBD.
Mm.
For libido, honestly, dude, beef liver makes me fucking like insanely horny. Like I'm about to kill my girlfriend if I take this. So yeah, and the reason why is beef liver has zinc, vitamin D, iron, B12, other B vitamins. Like it has a lot of things that kind of support your production of testosterone and libido. Maca is really really good. I also now I take horny goat weed. Horny goat weed. I'll bring up my other personal supplements later. Zinc. Like if you put a gun in my mouth and said what would be like the number one, I would obviously just say this is like a good general health one. The B vitamins in beef liver also complement the B vitamins in muscle meat, like steak and stuff like that. But yeah, if you put a gun in my mouth and said other than like just food, what would I take? I would take zinc. Like zinc plays a crucial role in testosterone and libido.
Yeah, bro.
Um,
Whenever I was like feeling like I was gonna get sick, I always took those like airborne tablets, right? And those
mhm,
things are just filled with a fuckload of zinc, bro.
yeah.
And like literally next day you just feel better, like all your sickness goes away. Uh, so it's pretty clutch.
Yep. And like I said here, all that pales in comparison to just consistent sleep, an animal-based diet, meditation, exercise. But yeah, let me see if I take anything else differently now. L-citrulline I take as a like pre-workout now, and it's like one of the main ingredients in pre-workouts. And you can just get the bulk powder, and it's like it's great. It basically increases vasodilation, so you get better pumps. And getting better pumps in the gym also relates to getting better pumps in the
In the
bedroom as
bed.
well. So yeah, lithium orotate I fucking love. Let's see. I do take a beef organ supplement now.
Nice.
Um, Neuromag is that magnesium that I take, the bisglycinate.
Yeah, my assistant is watching this right now and just buying all this shit right now as we speak.
Yeah. And the zinc I get is chelated zinc, so it has copper in it. There's basically there's like a vitamin wheel. So like if you only take zinc and you don't have the copper to balance it out, then you're gonna be unbalanced. Um, yeah, let's keep going. The only reason I would take this is actually for just increasing. I did an experiment where I wanted to see like the biggest load I could shoot. so this is for that. The both of these. So Pygium africanum extract and sunflower
You
lecithin.
know what I do for that? I do the celery juice, bro. There's like this
Yeah.
green juice, the celery juice. That shit just makes you come like a bunch. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is like a pre-workout thing. So I did the blueprint Brian Johnson stuff.
Mm,
Um, most of it actually just kind of hurts my stomach, and I don't take it anymore. So I actually stopped taking both of these. I'm actually gonna
yeah,
remove that.
cooked.
This one still kind of hurts my stomach, so I barely ever take it. I basically just take this one and this one, the essential soft gel and the essential capsule. Horny goat weed. Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
So what is horny goat weed? What is that shit?
Horny goat weed it's this Epimedium sagittatum. Basically, it's kind of like a libido uh, booster, and it definitely works. So like if you a kind of a fun thing you can do, I actually got this from so they were doing this podcast with this guy who trains like Mr. Olympias and Olympic athletes, and he says like this is a common thing he does with his wife. They pop like 2 horny goat weed pills and like go on like a walk holding hands together, and by the time they get back, they just fucking like destroy each other. So um, yeah.
That's funny as fuck. Cool. Is
So
there anything
yeah,
else on this list?
that's it. So
Okay, cool.
and honestly, there's some things on that list that I'm gonna stop taking, like there's like fire starter. I have like too many beef liver or beef organ things that I'm probably not gonna take. I'm just gonna take the beef liver that's raw because I just feel like it works better. But yeah, those are essentially like the power laws. Oh, sorry, lifting. So
Yeah.
I
Well, I
think
mean,
I think
so the
most people know about
one
lifting.
thing about the supplements is you take the supplements if you cannot get enough of it from the natural food itself. So if you don't have time to, bring liver onto a plane, then yeah, you just bring
Yeah.
supplements or some shit or whatever else, right?
Yeah,
And
and
same thing with
supplements
protein
aren't
powder,
aren't that big
right?
of a lever. I would say they're
Okay.
like maybe a 5% boost. Like all the supplements I have probably give me like a 5% boost over like food, lifting, walking, sports, sleep, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, but you don't rely on it. Like so that's the main thing is like you don't rely
No.
on the beef liver supplements to ingest all the beef liver. Like you still go out and buy it. Same thing like protein powder, right? Like you don't need to have protein powder if you're digesting enough protein through the meats that you're eating, right?
Yeah, but it is difficult to get enough protein. And the cool thing with protein
Yeah,
powder
yeah.
is that you can add it to anything. So, oh,
Like a drink smoothie, yeah.
you know what? I guess I'll show you. I'll show you that.
You have transparent
So,
labs or what?
so yeah, boom, kitchen. So these are my honestly, these are I've tried so many different things. So I have yeah. So there's transparent labs. I do use this one. I use this one mostly for actually making pancakes.
Yeah,
And
I bought a bunch of transparent lab stuff. It's pretty solid.
but you can see you can see what I'm showing, right?
Your mic is a little fucking quiet. You might have to yell.
Oh shit. Here, maybe I should change it to my. I'll change it to my AirPods,
Yeah.
and then should be good. All right, settings, audio. Uh,
No, the
Air,
transparent lab stuff is good. It's pretty clean. So
Air. Can you hear me?
yeah, it's good.
Okay. Yeah. So these are the two best that I found. This is kind of interesting. So I'm like kind of trying to see how much plastic I can eliminate. So like even in here, like you see, so
Glass,
my
metal,
girlfriend
nice.
actually got so glass. But the thing is, there's plastic on the top that the food doesn't touch. But still, my girlfriend was like, she got me this as a gift. So this is called Life Without Plastic, and
That's
it's
dope.
all metal. And then the glass one here is topped with like bamboo. But this is cool. This is the only plastic-free protein powder on Earth. So basically, this is kind of made out of paper, and then the scooper that comes with it is metal.
Oh, that's hard. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah. So this is Heart and Soil animal-based protein. So it has grass-fed whey, colostrum, and collagen.
Whose brand is that?
So this is actually Paul Saladino's brand, Heart and
Okay,
Soil, and
cool.
this is
That's
also
what I
his
thought.
brand too, Lineage.
Nice.
This one literally tastes like Cheerios. The ingredients are, let's see, grass-fed beef isolate protein, maple syrup, uh, beef organ blend, and then just a bunch of different fruits and sea salt. And this doesn't taste like anything like that. It literally tastes like Cheerios. So if you like Cheerios, this is the best to take. Another little hack with supplements: get like a extra large weekly planner, and then you can pop it out like that. Oh, the other supplement that I take it isn't really a supplement, but I do take Cialis 5 milligrams every single day, and that's for a variety of reasons. But yeah, but yeah, those are the two proteins I take: Lineage Provisions and Heart and Soil
You don't
animal
try those
based.
Rhino pills from the gas station? The Rhino 3000 pills?
No.
So
One
wait,
one of
what's
the
what's
other
the Cialis for?
so Cialis is good for actual general health. There's a case to be made
Interesting.
that like anyone over the age of 30 should be taking daily Cialis. But uh, I'm doing a competition with my friend to see who can grow our dicks the most. So it's kind of for that. Um, but it helps with weightlifting and sports. So
Okay,
like I
cool.
popped
Cool.
5 milligrams of Cialis before winning this first place trophy. So
Okay, that's the testimonial
nice
right
medal.
there.
All right. Um, I want to brief. Everyone pretty much knows how to lift, but the main things for lifting is just consistency, progressive overload. If you're getting in the gym consistently, frequency matters more than duration, and then progressive overload just gets slightly stronger each time. And progressive overload doesn't actually necessarily need to be adding weight. You could just add one extra rep, right? You could add more time under tension. You could add more mind muscle connection. You could have better form, and then add the rep. And then after that, add the weight. Weight should be like if you're focused on like not injuring yourself, weight should actually be the last lever that you pull to increase the progressive overload. But yeah, just work out 3 to 4 times a week, and do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, and like just get a good full body workout. I really like this one. Power hypertrophy upper lower. Like I've tried a bunch of different workouts. I just like this one the best. But just find a workout that you like and stick to it pretty much.
Are you doing any combat sports?
No, but there is a boxing gym right across the street from me. So my sister and I are thinking about going.
I'm a huge advocate for, jiu-jitsu and wrestling, bro. That I feel like that will boost your testosterone like nothing else. I think when you're like actually under pressure and like you're actually training and you're doing competitions and stuff, it does something mentally for sure.
Hmm.
And I definitely think it's a very powerful thing, especially with your confidence as well, like knowing you have the ability to fight people
Yeah.
like twice your size and win. It's huge. And that's one thing I do with a lot of guys in my events. I'll go against guys like twice my size and I'll tap them out just because I know
Hmm.
jiu-jitsu and they don't. And it's just a good thing to know and it's a good thing to practice, especially for like a small dude like myself. It's good
Yeah.
to have those skills. And then also like just with girls overall, bro. It's like, bro, like how many girls like I've just wrestled at the beach or I've just like had fun with and we're just having fun and it just leads to us like making out in the sand. Like, bro, it's
Logan's
limitless.
sex life is like halfway throughout sex. He's like, "Are you gonna tap out? Get her in like a chokehold or something."
No comment.
Oh, man. So yeah, would you advise guys to do like 3 to 6 months of some kind of grappling and then 3 to 6 months of some kind of striking just to get
I'm
better
telling.
than most guys at it?
I'd say the minimum you need to do is 3 months because after three
Mm-hmm.
months you're gonna be fucking addicted and you're like, oh shit, I need it. Like you're gonna be itching to
Mm-hmm.
like go fight someone or have fun. And it's not actually like people misunderstand it. It's not even. It's like an art. It's not actually fighting people. When you're doing jiu-jitsu, it's literally an art, and it's
Mm-hmm.
once you learn it and you do it, It's very, very safe if you're doing it properly and you're doing it with the people who are not trying to hurt you. And that's the point of the thing. And a lot of people, they have like the stigma around it. But I'd say, dude, anyone, every single one of my students, I always tell them, like, do at least a month of, combat sports, especially jiu-jitsu. I highly advocate it. And it does something mentally for sure. It's way more different. Like the psychology behind just weightlifting, which I love, right? But it's way different from just weightlifting. Like you're
And
actually
it's
in there
good,
to
and it's good
battle.
cardio. A lot of like boxing is
Oh
just
yeah,
really good
bro.
cardio too.
Yeah, it's a slay. Like your whole body's gonna be slayed for sure.
Yeah.
You're using every single muscle, the stabilizing muscles, every little
Hmm.
tiny muscle, whatever. So
Yeah, and I'd say for anyone listening, find some kind of like cardio for you that's fun. There's so many things to do that are super fun and good for your cardio that aren't like just running on a treadmill like a little hamster or something. Like doing a combat sport, you could work on your cardio as you're learning a skill set that's going to make you more confident and like be super fun. For me, I play so much ultimate frisbee. I do ultimate frisbee twice a week, so it's a lot of sprinting. So I get the testosterone benefit of sprinting, but also then there's cardio in there because there's a lot of zone two, just kind of like jogging around.
yeah, you have the
And
competition factor as well.
yeah, and it's like there's something about you probably know this from competition. The mental states that you get in when everything's on the line is insane, dude. The like the people would like you can't buy that. You can't buy the pressure that you get into for that, and then like winning. You can't buy the satisfaction of that. Like
Oh, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah,
it's the
when they
best.
raise your hand in front of everyone after you
Yeah.
just beat someone up, it's just like, oh, dude, this is amazing, and it's so addicting, bro. It's so addicting.
Hmm.
I do like the team sport stuff. Like I've played basketball and football and stuff, and I do like that a lot. But when you're on the mats, bro, and when you're just fighting someone, it's just one on one. There's no other
Yeah.
teammates. There's no one else. You get to get all the glory, but you also get all of the loss too. It's 100% on you if you win or you lose, which I like. And the same thing with business too, bro. At the end of the day, it's up to you, bro. So I really
Yeah.
do like it.
There's one thing I didn't touch on, which I actually just added. I'm gonna probably put this in my course too, which is you need to identify as a healthy person. Like the problem is
Mm,
with most people, they don't identify as a healthy person. They're just like, oh, I just feed my body shit and I feel bad, and that's just kind of who I am. It's like, no, start
huge. Yeah.
identifying as a healthy person and
Yep.
identify with that future perfected version of yourself, and then just draw
Yes.
that version closer to reality
Yes.
by taking the actions. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
fire.
ever see like people that are super super fat, like on The Biggest Loser, they lose like 250 pounds. You check in with them several years later, and they regained all that weight. It's because two things. Number one, they don't truly identify as a healthy person, and number
Mm,
two, they're using food as a way to solve emotional needs to kind of soothe them, but it doesn't actually solve them. So they have these emotional wounds, and the way that they kind of like numb themselves or cope with it is by eating. So
yes.
you need to, if that's you listening, explore what those would be for you. Do some kind of therapy, do some kind of inner work, some shadow work, and find what are those repressed emotions that are literally making you self sabotage in life. And
That's
once you
huge, bro.
unlock that, it makes it so like there's no friction between you and doing the things that you need to be doing. It's just like
Yeah.
the lane opens up in your mind, and you just go balls to the wall.
Yeah, because we could give everyone all the sauce, and we could actually force feed people. We could be sitting there force
Hmm.
feeding people, but the crazy thing is people do self sabotage, and I've
Hmm.
dealt with this with my business clients, my relationship clients, and my health clients. Um, all of them. There's a lot of people who have this brainwashing of trying to self sabotage themselves, and even with girls, bro. You can give this girl a perfect dude, the guy who's going to take care of her, love her, but if she doesn't love herself and she's insecure, she's going to self sabotage the most perfect relationship. Even
Yeah.
though logically doesn't make sense. Why would this
Yeah.
girl self sabotage this amazing relationship to where she can have someone who loves her, cares for her, wipes her up, and puts her in a house? Because she feels like she doesn't deserve it on a subconscious level, and so what she's
Hmm.
going to do is she's going to align herself to that subconscious thinking. And same thing with your health. So if you don't view yourself as a healthy person, you don't feel like you deserve it, you are going to naturally, subconsciously align to that. And same thing with all the people who want to be rich. Everyone says they want to be rich. Everyone says they want a fucking six pack. Everyone says they want a hot wife. Of course. But the people who actually get it are the people who actually believe that they deserve it. And those are the
Hmm.
people that work the hardest, and those are the people who keep it too. Because I can give anyone here $1 million, but if they don't feel like they deserve it, they're gonna lose it so fucking quick,
Yeah.
bro. It's
And
just
you
how
see
it
that with
works.
lottery winners.
Yes,
Yeah,
lottery
most
they
most
lose it
lottery
like
winners
that,
go
bro.
broke.
Yes. And so that's the main thing I tell my clients is like you have to get it like people who want to get rich, right? You have to get out of that brokey mentality of thinking, right? Oh, let me just work my hours for these dollars and these pieces of paper. Like, bro, that shit's not even real. That's just not real, dude. And so if you don't believe you deserve it, one, you're not going to get it. You're not going to work for it. And even if you did get it, like magically fell out of the sky like a lottery ticket, you're going to lose it. And you're going to find a way to get rid of it because subconsciously you don't feel like you deserve it. And, for everyone here, I'm telling you, you guys do deserve to be healthy. You guys do deserve to have hot girlfriends. You guys do deserve to be rich. However, not everyone gets to have those things. It is what it is. So,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
there's two other like if you do these three things, I put a fourth one as meditation or stress management. So there's other things that can reduce your stress. Sauna, like you can be super stressed. You step in the sauna for 15, 20 minutes, it just like evaporates.
Mm-hmm.
So reduce your stress. If you do those four things, like you're sleeping well, you're eating super nutrient dense, high quality foods, you're eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, you're lifting weights, you're getting some cardio in, and you're walking like 5 to 10,000 steps a day. That takes care of like 90-95% of health. Now, there's two other factors that I think are important. So I'm going to mention them and I'm not going to go super in depth, but one is air quality and the second is water quality. So if
Mm.
you actually look at how much air you're breathing a day, I have the thing here. You're breathing 11,000 liters of air a day, which ultimately I think it's 13 kilograms of air that you're breathing every day. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
So
that's
you eat
nuts.
1 kilogram of food a day, you drink 2 kilograms of water a day, but you breathe 13 kilograms of air a day. So if your air is polluted, you're literally just breathing in pollution into your lungs and it's affecting your health. There's a lot of different downsides of that as well. Um, but main thing that you can do to counteract that is number one, live in a place that the air quality is good. Thank God we live in America, dude. This is one of the things that when you live in third world countries, they don't give a fuck, dude. They'll burn their trash. They will they don't refine their gasoline. So like even a
Yeah.
moped going by like smells like shit and makes you cough. Um, so live in a good place. And number two, get a HEPA air filter. I'll spell that
Mm.
out in the chat. HEPA air filter. The one I use is
HEPA
called
is like the quality or the grade, right?
yeah.
HEPA.
Air
Okay.
Air Air Doctor is the one that I have. And then the second thing is water. So, you know, there's tap water is not super good for you. And this, depending on the country, it can be even worse. Like most places in the US, the tap water is going to be not horrible. And the reason why tap water has tons of chlorine in it, and you ever smell like tap water smells like a pool? It's
Yeah.
because it's supposed to kill pathogens, and it did actually help human health because before people get like cholera and like stuff from water, they'd literally die from drinking the water. So chlorine made it so that they're not dying, which is an improvement. But now it's like if you really want to optimize your health, you should get a reverse osmosis water filter. I'll type that out.
Fire.
Reverse osmosis
And
water
that's like five
filter.
grand. That's like 5 grand, right? I put one into my house
No, no,
recently.
no. You can get one just for like water drinking. You can get one for $300. Blue
The fuck,
Vua
dude? I got one like
or
installed underneath my kitchen sink or some shit. And it was like a couple grand.
yeah, you there's different brands. I think the one from AquaTrue that's under the sink is like maybe around 1,000, but
Really? Okay.
just tabletop for like most people, you can just put in an apartment, get Blue Vua or
Hmm.
AquaTrue. $300, you just fill it up, it filters the water for you, and then you're drinking healthy
So the
water.
natural water that is good is spring water, correct? Right.
Yeah. So
And
you
so
like a
you can
good
actually get
Mountain
spring water
Valley.
delivered too. Yeah, Mountain Valley. I know you can actually get spring water delivered to you as well in like these jugs. You can either get plastic jugs or or glass jugs, and
Hmm.
they'll deliver it to you. Some of my
Yeah.
girlfriends do that. So
But yeah, if you're focused on like the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food that you eat, you're lifting weights and you're not super stressed and you're getting exercise in and you're sleeping well, like a lot of this, like any kind of random health problem you have is most likely going to fade away unless it's some weird genetic thing. Like most people talk about, like, oh, there's thousands of diseases. The thing is, there's only like 10 main causes of those thousands of diseases. Like whenever you invite dysfunction and you put yourself into what's called a evolutionary mismatch situation, like where your body didn't evolve for you to be breathing toxic garbage that's burning, or like fucking gasoline fumes every day. So
Yeah.
the most you can do to like limit that stuff, the better. But don't get too stressed out about your health and make it like a religion, or make it like something that like last night I had a fucking tiramisu, like I had a dessert, and it's like partially the reason to do that is show yourself that you don't have to be
A
perfect,
robot.
and you can still be exactly. You can splurge. Dude, I had two big wins this week. I won a debate yesterday, and I won my sport competition that I was in, the ultimate frisbee. So it's
W.
like whatever. I'll just celebrate a bit.
Everyone put a
Um,
W in the chat for Austin.
yeah, I'm trying to see what's my next big win of this week gonna be. I don't know, but
Mm.
we'll find one. But yeah, dude,
More
it feels good. Like
threesomes.
when you start, when you have good health, it just, you feel like you can do anything. You feel like inspired. Like you feel this energy inside you, and this testosterone that's driving you, that masculine urge to like build and create and do shit. So
Well,
W.
also, it's what was that Navy SEAL? They said make your bed, right? And the reason why you do that is because no matter how much of a shitty day that you have, when you come back and your bed's made, at least there's somewhat of an accomplishment. And so what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for an upward spiral of success. So the more things you win, the more you are going to be happy in other parts of your life or just overall, right? Because most people, bro, you're getting beat down by your 9 to 5, by some feminist boss lady chick telling you what to do. At least come home to a bed that's made, a chick that does whatever you say, and a healthy diet. And those are things you can control, which is dope. And so it's all about controlling the things you can control and setting yourself up for overall success. Because there's going to be things in your life that you just can't control, but it's always good to have things set up in place. Like there's probably some things that went wrong in your business, but hey, who fucking cares? I won this, I won this, I won this. I have this happy girlfriend. I'm this happy, right? And so overall, it's like it's a big picture. Like I don't give a fuck, and that's abundance. So you're just setting yourself up for abundance, which I really do like for sure.
Yeah, I'd say another thing that both of us coach is like, if you have a good relationship, it's going to help you in health as well. Like I just did this debate with wheat waffles yesterday, and basically there's a literal causal link by having a fatalist mindset, thinking that there's nothing you can do to change your situation and like it's over for you, to feeling like you have lack of self-control, to losing resilience, to depression. There's a 13 times uh, if you have a fatalist mindset, you have 13 times higher risk of depression. And
Yep.
that's literally just going to drive more and more people away from you and make you more socially
Yep.
isolated. We are not meant to be socially isolated. You're meant to have people around you. You're meant to be in a community, being supported and helping people out. So you need to have a good social life. Like that's one of the other undervalued parts of health.
Yeah, the one thing that Wheat Waffles, I guess I didn't listen for too long. I was listening for like 10 minutes. But the one thing, he was talking. He's a black pill dude, and he was talking about, oh, let's just not even try with dating. Let's not even try with relationships, whatever. Because if you're not this height or you don't look this way, you're cooked. You just give up. And the thing is, it's like if you were going to go into a fight, right? And the way he frames it as is, you're going to a fight with Mike Tyson and you're going to get cooked. That's how he thinks and he sees the world. But I guarantee, bro, if you're going to go into a fight with Mike Tyson, your best chance is believing that you can actually win. That is your best chance of winning. Okay, let's say he's right. Let's say the black pilled dudes are right. Everything is cooked. It doesn't fucking matter. If you still believe that, hey, things can actually work for me. If I get good at game, I get good at my health, and I upgrade my looks, and I upgrade myself, I will have a better chance of success. You will more likely win than the person who's like, I'm not going to try at all because everything's cooked. I just give up. Of
Mm.
course you're gonna fucking lose. You automatically lose. That's it. You just gave up. You have zero odds. You just gave yourself no chances at all. So why would you want to put yourself in that universe to where you give yourself zero odds of winning? Like if you're gonna go into a fight, and sure the guy might be twice your fucking size, but if you believe that hey I can actually win, what you're gonna do is you're gonna train, you're gonna work hard, and you're gonna learn the game, and that's gonna upgrade your odds. Even if you fucking lose, it doesn't matter. Okay, the skills you get out of it is what matters. And so, like, let's
Mm.
say it doesn't matter if Austen or the black pill dude is right or wrong. All that matters is okay, what's gonna raise your chances of success, bro? Because a lot of people are gonna be like, even with the health shit, oh, there's pesticides everywhere, there's fucking plastics everywhere, there's microplastic. I'm just not gonna care at all. It's like, no, dude, at least raise your chances of success. Like, at least
Mm.
give a fuck. Because if you do that, you're more likely to win, and that's all I give a fuck. It's all about probability, right? So
Yeah, and one point I made is that even if you don't, if you say, you know, I don't give a fuck about girls anymore, self development is fun even for just you. Like, even if you take the
yes,
idea of girls off the table, like, it's fun to lift weights. It's fun to, you know, go into diet and like research all that shit. And like, it's just interesting. And these are interesting journeys you can go on, and they're valuable in and of themselves.
yeah, I mean, if we were to compare, if we grabbed 100 people from his audience and 100 people from our audience in a fight, bro, we'd win. If we just band for band, every single comparison, our audience members would be much more successful, happier, better with girls, everything, bro. And it's just because of the belief.
Mhm.
That's it. If he's instilling a really bad belief into his followers, and it's fucked up.
Yeah, and I ended the whole thing with talking about forgiveness, and like I think these people, like one of the first steps for them is actually self-compassion. Forgive yourself for falling into this trap. You know, don't beat yourself up more. These people, you know, if you're just self-criticizing all the time and you're stuck in this depressive mindset, you are already beating yourself up so much. You're stuck in shame, which is there's like a consciousness level chart, and the literal
Mm,
lowest rung on it is shame.
damn.
So, you know, if you're stuck in shame, it's the way out is self-compassion, forgiveness, gratitude. Start focusing on what you can like feel good about yourself, right? The fact that you're even alive. Like
Yeah.
at least start there. And then, you know, like anything, you just got to get the ball rolling. Once the balls started to roll in the right direction, you can get faster and faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, it's an upward spiral for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Like, do you want to take some questions? Does anyone have
Yeah.
questions? Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
we
that's,
have I can't, for some reason I can't
I can put
add
it on the
anything
screen.
to the screen. Yeah. So
Do you want to do the mushrooms question?
sure. I don't know
Those
what
mushrooms.
mushrooms you're talking about, but yes, many versions of mushrooms are gonna not be good for you, and they would kill you. And we found that out through human history. Like they're just like, hey, try this mushroom. He didn't die. Great. I guess we can eat that one. But I don't know if you're talking about psychedelic mushrooms, but are wheat waffles good for you? Definitely not, dude. Wheat in general is not good for you. You can make pancake, dude. I make these pancakes all the time. 2 eggs, 1 banana, protein powder. It tastes fucking better than regular pancakes, and it just you feel good. It's like you're eating bananas, eggs, protein. It's
That's
perfect.
dope.
Put some butter in the pan, and then I top it with like Greek yogurt with more protein in it, and then some blueberries. How about just a good multivitamin? I'm taking the Brian Johnson's Blueprint Essential capsule and the Essential multivitamin or whatever, and I feel like it's good. The problem was with most multivitamins is that uh, they're synthetic, and it's generally better to get your like just general nutrition from food. But yeah, if you want a good multi, check out Brian Johnson's Blueprint Essential capsule and pill. What do you take if you feel like you can't have enough sleep? Probably caffeine. I don't know. I have to know more in depth about what you're talking about.
Mm.
Like, I don't think there is a supplement that actually increases your sleep quality. Like there's no supplement where you're like, oh, I just take this and I can only sleep 4 hours and I'm good.
Yeah.
Carnivore diet is good. There's one, oh my God, for a second I thought this was my old business partner's girlfriend. Her name was her last name was Stichter though. Carnivore diet is good. There's only one issue with it. there's a couple issues with it. Number one, electrolytes and how you hold on to them. I did the carnivore diet for 3 months, and the reason why I stopped is I started to get like heart palpitations and like I felt like very on edge and like overly stressed. I do like to be slightly irritated throughout the day, helps me work, but I was like on edge, and
Mm.
the reason why is electrolyte imbalance. So if you don't have carbohydrates, you can't hold on to electrolytes optimally. So that's why you ever see people carnivore or keto, they have tons of that element powder, LMNT powder that's like electrolytes, and they just drink that every single day. The reason why they do that is their body can't hold on to electrolytes. So
Yeah.
that's one issue. The other issue is for competitive sports, like it does help to have carbohydrates, and also for muscle growth. If you don't have carbohydrates, your muscles can tend to look a bit flat. And yeah, so those are the main issues with it. So I think you could do carnivore. If you were to put a gun in my mouth and say, what do you think is actually like the best to do? I would say go back and forth between animal-based and carnivore, because carnivore, the biggest benefit of carnivore is the mental focus. Dude, I could talk for 7 hours straight on carnivore and be like, nothing happened. The mental advantage of carnivore is absolutely insane.
What's
Like
the main difference between animal based and carnivore?
carnivore is just
Only meat, red
meat,
meat only.
just animal products, no
Oh.
carbohydrates, and yeah, many of them don't have dairy. So it's just basically meat, seafood, eggs, butter,
Yeah,
bacon.
most of my diet is definitely mostly the animal based diet. I do. Do you try to eat raw meat too? Because I try to eat raw meat, at least
Yeah,
like
I
twice,
ate beef
a week.
tartare last
Besides the
night.
liver, yeah, beef tartare is fucking fantastic, bro.
Yeah.
And in Japan, like when I was, have you been to Japan yet or no?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. The cool thing about Japan, bro, is like, dude, the raw meat is like huge. I had raw goat meat, raw
Hmm.
chicken meat, raw fucking beef, every raw everything raw.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
super
that's
good
partially
quality over
why they're
there.
so smart.
And bro, they look
I
at their
saw this
lifespan
fucking
too, bro. Their
yeah.
lifespan is like 20 years longer than ours, bro. It's
I
nuts.
saw some video on like eating salmon that's basically raw is actually like insanely good for your brain. I forget
Yeah,
what it
all
said.
the good. It has the good oils, right? The good oils for your brain
Yeah, omega
or some
threes.
shit. Yeah, but for sure, yeah, I definitely think eating a lot of meat. My diet mostly consists of meat for every single meal, like steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then eggs here and there, and a few other things. But
Hmm.
yeah, some veggies, some fruits, some sweet potatoes. I fuck with sweet potatoes heavy.
Yeah,
Let's see.
yeah. Sweet potatoes are definitely more primal than regular potatoes, and really good carb source. Most
Yeah.
people during their development journey have had bad days and fall back into bad habits, making it hard to build momentum. How do I counteract this?
Mm,
So, man, there's a lot of ways to take this question. But
yeah.
I think first, what I would have you do is visualize. I do a goal setting call every year, and it lasts about 6 to 7 hours. And in that call, I have people visualize what is their life going to look like if they don't take action, if they fall back into bad patterns. Um, what is that going to look like for them? So that allows you to attach a shit ton more pain to doing those bad habits. If you know,
Yeah.
like, fuck, if I'm like, let's say jerking off the porn all the time, what is that going to result in 10 years? I'm going to be more anxious, more depressed. My relationships are, if I even have one, are going to be horrible. I'm going to be weird around people. So visualize how negative that's going to make your life, and then visualize the positive of doing the opposite. What if you took an insane amount of action and you basically stayed consistent, and any time that you kind of were slightly getting off track, you course corrected? Like, what would that look like 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? And
Yeah.
start to visualize and feel in your body how that feels. And then you'll have those moments throughout your life where you have like a decision. Should I choose this or this? Sometimes you're going to be tired. Sometimes you're going to be out of it. And when
Yeah.
you understand pain and pleasure, those two forces that control your life, you're more likely to choose the right thing. And then also, you have to have a reason for why you're not doing something. So like,
Yep.
for me, I ask myself, my recurring question I ask myself is, how can I become even better so that I can give even more? And if something
Yeah,
doesn't really fit
huge.
into that framework, then I don't fucking do it, because that's not a part of who I
Yeah,
am and who I'm becoming. And that's
yeah,
the mentality I have now. So I have this like looping in my head. It's like, is that a part of who I want to become? No. Is this a part of me becoming even better so I can give even more to the world? Then fuck no, I'm not doing it. I'm not here for
yep,
myself and some self-centered suffering. I'm here to serve other people. I'm not a faggot.
yeah.
That's
No,
literally
dude, that's
that's how I
huge.
talk to myself.
No, that's huge. Yeah. I feel the same way. Like the more people that I influence, the more people that follow me, the more I have a, a duty to take care of myself, most importantly, so I can take care of them, right? Because
Mm.
you can't give out, if your glass is half empty, you can't fill up someone else's, right? So it's very, very important to fill up your glass and to be able to give, but by being able to take care of yourself, and that's
Yeah.
huge.
And people have all these ideas that are like, oh man, I just need all these hacks and these tools to do this. No, the main thing that you need is to resonate with the type of person that you want to become. If you
Yeah.
resonate with the energy of giving and growth and contribution and that future self, you're naturally going to gravitate away from things that are not leading you there, and you're naturally going to
Yeah.
gravitate toward the things that are going to bring you there. So that's the main thing. Obviously, there's other things to do. The main thing, like bad habits, add friction to doing those bad habits. Like
Yeah.
like with
The cool
porn,
thing
put
that,
porn blockers
yeah.
on.
Yeah, for the guys that came to this last event that I did, this 4 day event, the first thing that we did was we shifted and we really hammered down the importance of what happens if they don't follow through with everything that they've learned through this entire event, right? And not only is that exactly what you said, Austin, in terms of identifying with something new, but also something that's going to hold you accountable. Like Robbie, it sounds like, the reason why you fall back into these bad habits and it's hard for you to build momentum is you lack accountability within yourself or from other people. And so the guys that came to my group, the main thing that we had was accountability from me, accountability from the other coaches, from my assistants, but also the brothers that were at the event as well, going through the same shit that they were going through and were sharing their problems. And so the main thing that you lack is obviously for sure accountability, and right, and then same thing with what Austin said in terms of your belief system is not in alignment with where you want to be. And I guarantee, bro, like once your belief is I am this person and this is who I need to be, or else, that you don't have a big enough or else. It's more of just like, well, if I don't do this, not a big deal. I just stay in the same place. It's like, no, dude, if you don't do this, you're not going to be successful with women. If you don't do this, you're not going to be happy. And if you're not happy, you're not going to make money. If you're not going to make money, like how the fuck are you able to provide for people, take care of people, whatever the fuck. So whatever your reasoning is, right? That's you need to really hammer down on it and get clear on those bad reasonings. And once you do that, it's going to make it much more easier for you to not fall into those things because you're not going to think about, well, if I don't work out today, it's not really that big of a deal, right? But then if you think about, okay, where does this spiral down to? And it's this big ass picture, then you're going to be like, oh, fuck. Okay, let me go, right? So it's very, very important you have a bigger reasoning and a bigger emotional purpose. And same thing with the good things you do too. Like the reason why we create content, right? Some days, me and Austin might feel like, I don't want to create this video. We don't want to create this podcast today. But if we don't, how many people be missing out on all this valuable information that
Mm-hmm.
people can be using to change their lives and then come to us when they're with their family and their kids like, oh, you changed my life, I'm married now, I was gonna fucking kill myself. Imagine if we didn't do this shit, right? And so that's
Mm-hmm.
like that's our reasoning, and that's much more bigger than us saying, we'll just reschedule, oh, I want to do it later,
Yeah.
right? So we have a much bigger reasoning that people don't know, and Austin's reasoning can be different, my reasoning can be different, but that's just an example.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, realize that you're not doing it just for yourself, you're doing it for other people. And
Yeah.
there's other people that are relying on you, you know? Uh intrin oh man, I can't pronounce this thing.
Intrinsic.
Intricate and
Intricate.
how
Yeah.
do you shift from taking to giving? It's easy to say I'm a value giving person, but how do you really become that? Just start small, dude.
Mm,
And think of little ways to do it. Like for the holidays here, there's my ultimate frisbee community had like a Christmas party that I went to with my girlfriend, and I just brought a disc for every single person that was there and said, "Hey, here's an ultimate frisbee disc for you. Like, sign your name on it. Boom, there you go. Merry Christmas." So another thing too is whenever I see a homeless person, I push the button on my trunk and I say, "Grab a water out of the trunk." You know, just constantly giving, and it puts you into this mindset of like you're just giving, like you're contributing to the tribe. And it doesn't have to be something like you could literally just start by giving value in terms of your vibe. Like when instead of seeing people and going, "Hey, how's it going?" Like you know, cashier or something, be like, "Hey, bro, how's your day going?" Oh, awesome, man. So you're giving emotional value. The intent in what you're communicating is giving value, and
Yeah,
that
the main,
fucking
yeah.
works for game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because a lot of guys who struggle with game and a lot of guys who struggle with girls is they're going to get something. Like their mentality is, I'm gonna get something from this girl. I'm gonna take something
Mm-hmm.
from her. Or I'm gonna
And
get
she can
sex from
feel
her,
that.
whatever. And she can feel it, right? And it turns her off, and it doesn't make her feel safe. The guys who she feels safe around are the guys who are the playboys, the guys who have other girls, the guys who have other options, the guys who are married. Why is it that once you get in a relationship, why do you get more attention? Because you don't need anything from the girls, and they can feel it, they can sense it, and when you have that abundance, it turns them on and makes them want you like way fucking more because you don't need them, right? So the more you need something, the harder it is to get. The more you need money, like broke people and poor people, they need money, but do they get all the money? No, it's the richest people who are getting all of the money. Okay, that's just how it works. That's literally how it works. Look at all the people who are making the most money are the richest people, not the people who need it the most, right? And so it's very, very important to understand that the more you need and you have this weird urge to get something from someone, it's bad. So you need to go into every single relationship going to give, going in there to give her a great experience. When I talk to girls, like even
Boom,
when
dude.
I
Us
mentioned
talking
to
about
Justin,
giving, got this guy to donate $2.
yeah,
Dude, we
hey,
start
give
turning
some
this
more.
into like a Christian church. Like, you must give 10% to me and Logan, please. It's your duty. Give, please. Thanks, Cole, bro.
Yeah, G, what a G. No, but it's for sure when I go into any relationship, right, or when I go into any interaction, it's just like how can I give this girl a great memory, a great experience, and give her a great feeling, right? Um, and that just works. It just works. And I not only do I feel happier, she feels amazing. She remembers me, and she has like an experience that's much more different than every other guy. Because every other guy is just trying to get something. Every other guy is just, they're just eager and they're trying to fucking latch on to things. But when you go there to give, like it's a way different vibe, way different energy, and you actually feel like, and you act differently when you're going there to give. It's way fucking different, bro.
Mm.
Way different how
Yeah,
you interact.
one exercise I give to my students for this, I'll say, go up and try to make it not work. I'm not. Yes, dude. Let's go, bro.
Gee,
Yo, we're fucking rich, bro.
yeah, and we're
This
changing
is
people's
this is
lives on this call.
you guys need to get rich by convincing others to be giving. This is like the funniest business
Yes,
plan.
bro. Yeah. What else?
Uh,
Oh, he said,
cool.
understand sometimes it feels inauthentic to force myself to give value, but I think by letting go of my negative beliefs and yeah, that bro, that's a limiting belief right there. Thinking
Mm,
that you feel weird to give value or you forcing yourself to give
yeah,
value. No, dude, understand the more that you give, the more that you get as well. Okay. The reason why me and Austin make the money that we do is because we're changing people's lives and we're giving them a transformation. And so, of course, people are going to pay us thousands of fucking dollars because we've changed their lives and we've given them so much value that it's worth more than thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Because if we can help guys get their dream girl, get them in shape, make them happy, that's worth more than anything, right? And so them paying us at a discounted price, that's them giving back to us in some sort of way. It may not be even, may not be fair or equal, it might not be the same, but it's what they can do. And so people just naturally and instinctively want to give back to people who help them. And the
yeah.
more you
Also,
give, yeah,
Logan,
yeah,
what have you noticed about the richest people that you've met? What is their general vibe? Like, are
bro,
they like they like? Oh man, I got to make sure I don't give out
yeah,
too much. I got to
bro.
conserve
When I was partying
scarcity.
with, yeah, I was partying with Ty Lopez and a bunch of other multimillionaires in the hills, and they're not going out there trying to like need anything. They're just coming from abundance, and it's huge, bro. It's so huge, and the girls can sense it. Everyone can sense it. It's a way better vibe and feeling, and I wish everyone could experience these things and see these things, right? I have a lot of rich friends. I hang out with Sterling Cooper, Justin Waller, and a bunch of other millionaires that mentored me. But once you are around it, it's much more different, bro. Like it's way more different. Like when I was with Justin, like when I was broke, like 3 years ago, I was hanging out with Justin Waller. He took me out to dinner, and he just fucking bought everyone. He just ordered everything on the fucking menu, bought everything, bro. and that's just
Mhm.
abundance level maxed right there. And I was broke at the time. I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy." And same thing when I went to go hang out with Coach Corey Wayne, he did the same thing when I was broke, and it's huge. And now I do that with everyone on my team too. Like everyone that comes out to me, I pay for everything, and I do all those things because you know that's just what I learned from them, and I see it, and it also just feels good, tipping good, and things like that. It just feels good, and yeah, that's just what I learned. Seen from them. They don't give a fuck, bro. They don't give a fuck, and it's huge,
Mhm.
bro. Even if you don't have any money, it's very very important to give. And there's been many times where I paid for coaching or I paid for mentorship or I paid for experiences that I had no fucking money. I was either pulling out loans from credit cards, whatever. And it always paid itself back because I had an abundance mindset. I knew how to make money, but there's been times where I was like, fuck, I'm not in the right position to give, but I'm gonna do it anyway because fuck it, I know it's gonna come back later. And that's like max level abundance there. That's even more abundance, right? The same thing is like you have to have that mentality, and you have to know yourself so well that hey, these things are just materialistic things. Things don't matter, but it makes other people happy, so I'm gonna do it, and I feel good. And it's not about simping either. So like the thing is it's way different than if you're simping and you're giving a girl a bunch of stuff, you're giving her a bunch of attention, a bunch of comments and likes and stuff
Mhm.
to get something from her. Like what we do is different. We give girls great experiences, we give girls great
Yeah.
memories, and we give girls great sexual experiences, right? And we're not looking to get anything back. And that's what causes the girls to want to stick to us and cling on to us like, fucking monkeys, right? Because they're so attached to it because there's no other guy doing those things, right? And it's
Yeah, it's very
huge.
refreshing.
Very refreshing, bro. Because most
Yeah,
girls
one thing
they
that
already
you
have sugar
hinted
daddies,
on,
bro.
one
Yeah.
thing that you hinted on with the mentality is that I love this quote, abundance is not something you acquire, it's something you tune into. So like when you start adopting that abundance mindset, it starts to make it real in your life. Like and it's this is in the Bible, it's called the Matthew principle. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So if you no homo, if you have this abundance mindset, you're more likely to tap into that with your current dating situation. The reason why it's so important, your brain evolved during a time of extreme scarcity of women. There was like one or two women in your tribe that were around your same age that you could probably marry, that were unmarried, that you didn't have kids with. Nowadays, you still have that same brain that's wired for like living in a tribe, but you're in a modern city with hundreds of thousands of girls that you can approach, and there's literally like endless abundance of women. You could not, like, if you're in a city, LA, New York, San Diego, Miami, Chicago, you could never approach all the girls in the city. You could
Yeah.
approach as many girls you want from sun up to sundown every single day. You would never approach all the girls. So realize that there's so much abundance in the world. The amount of wealth in the world is ridiculous, and you can create wealth too. So yeah,
Yep.
tune into that abundance.
Yep. It's huge, bro. So have you guys ever
Uh,
struggled with being in your head, especially with people you like? Besides meditation daily, what do you guys recommend? Well, the reason why you're stuck in your head is because subconsciously you're putting it on a pedestal. Okay, when you put things on a pedestal, guess what? It becomes hard to reach. And same thing with money. People pedestalize money. That's why they're holding on to it. That's why they're afraid to give it out. Okay? People pedestalize women. That's why they're holding on to it and they're afraid to let go of it. When you're not afraid to let go of your girlfriend, Austin, do you give a fuck if your girlfriend walks away?
no, there's a good quote. There's a pimp quote. It's I love it when a bitch leaves. It makes room for a more eligible bitch.
Dude,
I
that's
will say
exactly
I
what's
will
happening.
say it would
Yeah.
definitely hurt because as you get older, your list of criteria for girls gets bigger and bigger, and it's like if she left, I'd be like, fuck, that's like another 6 to 12 months of of approaching. I will say that they're just like fucking girls is super easy. Like
Easy, yes.
there's an insane
That's level
abundance of,
one.
if you just want to
Yeah.
bang girls, like some girls you hang out just casually and they have a good vibe, it's fine. But to find really awesome girls that have like the inner qualities that you want, that have the mentality, the beliefs, like all that stuff, it does take it could take 3, 6, 12 months to find a girl who's equal or better, but
But she's not like
it's
one of one.
possible.
She's not like, the one or the only
Honestly, dude, she's
one.
pretty fucking awesome, but but
Yeah, well, yeah, my
but
girlfriends are great too, but the thing is like I'm not if they want to walk away and
yeah.
they want to leave, I'm cool. Because I
Yeah,
know that
and
there's
what you're
other girls
hinting at
out
is like
there.
most guys,
Yeah.
when they get out of a relationship, they're devastated because they don't think that they can get a woman again. Like their brain is literally
Mm,
convincing them that their life is over. And if you learn game, you like one of the biggest epiphanies you have is like there is an abundance of women. There's like so many girls that it's absurd. And if you just have the someone said something about suicide, but there one of the
Yeah, I'll
things is
talk about
like
that.
just don't beat yourself up. You have an experience with the girl, whether it's positive or negative. How you interpret it is where you place the meaning on there. So the biggest mindset I had when I was learning game was I either win or I learn, right? I either win or I learn. If I fuck something up, bro, I just learned a way not to do it. Every rejection is a brick in my palace, right? Every rejection I get is
Yeah.
something that I can learn that adds a brick to my palace of wisdom so that I can get even better and better at the skill set. So,
Yeah, well, going back to the pedestalization of things is the reason why you feel stuck in your head, and the reason why you feel like one, you don't deserve it, but also it's hard to get, is because you're pedestalizing it. You care about it and you value it. But the thing is, bro, once you start talking to girls, once you actually start making money, you start to care less about it. You start to care less about, oh, girls aren't that special. When I was a virgin, bro, I used to put girls on a pedestal, like, oh my god, she's a girl, oh my god. And then I started dating girls, and I started to realize, oh my god, they're worse human beings than us. They have way worse morals than us, bro. Sometimes girls are ruthless. Girls are ruthless. When I was a simp, I didn't realize this. I thought girls are perfect, and now when on the opposite side of the spectrum, where I have girls who are leaving their boyfriends for me, I'm just like, whoa, this guy would have actually gave a fuck about her and taken care of her, but she's leaving him for me just because I have more status and I provide her a better experience. That's fucked up. And so I
Mhm.
realized that, oh, wow, that's just, why would I want to pedestalize, someone like this, right? And that's not saying I'm not putting women down at all, but I'm just saying if you actually date and you actually talk to girls and you've seen the worst sides of them, you're like, whoa, these princesses and these perfect angels are not so perfect, and they're not so much of an angel. And same thing if you want to get good in the
Mhm.
bedroom, you actually have to throw that mentality. Sterling Cooper talks about it too. You have to throw that limiting belief out of your head, because if you're afraid to rough a girl around in the bedroom, she's not going to have a good experience because you're treating her like a little princess, right? And so you kind of have to throw that limiting belief out of your head. And part of it is having experience with girls, but also listening to guys like us who have experience with girls to know that, dude, trust me, they don't want to be treated like little princesses. They want to be roughed around a little bit, right? They want to have fun, right? And you can't treat them, like perfect angels either, or else they're going to walk all over you and they're going to treat you like shit. Trust me, everyone's learned the hard way. You can't do that. It doesn't work. And so, yeah, you can't be putting these things on a pedestal. You can't be afraid of losing these things. And the same thing with money and everything else. The more you pedestalize it, the more you put value on it. And the more you put value on it, the more you look up to it. The more you look up to it, the harder it becomes to reach. Okay, so it's very,
I
very
would even
important.
add on to that if you're pedestalizing a girl, you're less likely to enforce your boundaries with her. So she's not going to ultimately respect you, and you're going to be resentful because if you're saying I will do anything for this girl and she can walk all over me, you're essentially going to build up resentment toward her, and the relationship's not going to work regardless.
Yeah, 100%.
Boom.
So one guy said is, what's y'all's opinion on men and suicide? So this is a huge thing in the military. I've had multiple guys in my unit fucking just kill themselves, and most of the time it's because of a bitch. And most of the time, the reason why guys kill themselves is because of girls. I've known so many guys in high school that jumped off fucking parking garages and killed themselves because a girl cheated on them and dumped them. And I've seen it in the military too. Suicide is a huge thing. More guys are dying from suicide than actually in combat. So it's a big fucking deal. And the reason is because a lot of guys feel lost, a lot of guys feel hopeless, and not only is the media not helping it, not only is the relationship dynamics not helping it. I guarantee, bro, if these guys had a great relationship, they wouldn't be doing these things. Okay, girls play a huge factor of your happiness. And the reason a lot of guys are just black pilled and they're unhappy because they don't have a lot of girls. Um, but when it comes to the suicide stuff, is a lot of guys feel hopeless, bro. A lot of guys feel lost. A lot of guys, they don't believe in themselves, and it's very, very sad to see. It's because maybe how they've grown up, how they've been raised, but also society doesn't build men up. Society is against men, and it's very sad to see. But the biggest thing is you have to understand that everything is against you as a man, right? You're not like you can't just start an OnlyFans and make millions of dollars like any other girl. Any girl, bro, can make an OnlyFans and make millions of dollars. You can't.
I'm
It
I'm
is
going to
what it
say
is.
one thing.
Yeah.
I I think while there are some there's definitely that like objective part of humanity that doesn't value male life as much as female life or children. right? It's just like a reality. I don't
Yeah,
think
sure.
it's
Yeah.
worth. I don't think it's valuable to brood on that and think like society's against me or whatever. You
No.
essentially, the mindset that you want to have going forward should just be that the universe is literally conspiring to help you. The universe
Mm,
is like set up so that you can win.
yeah.
And the reason why I think that's important is because what you focus on, you get. So if you're focusing on, all these injustices, it's so hard for me. I think what that does, that frustration and that sadness kind of leads to more depression. So
Mm.
you could, if you feel like the society's set up against you, you're more likely to have that kind of fatalist belief. So
Well, I
while
was just
there
saying,
are
I was saying
elements,
that to double down on your own self belief, because there's no one else that believes in you. You got to believe in yourself, because
yeah,
no one else is. Yeah, that's why I was saying that.
yeah, I just wanted to make it clear, like it's while there are objective things there, right? I'm not denying it. I just don't think it's the most helpful mindset, right? And I think you'd agree with that too. I just wanted to make it clear for the audience.
No, yeah, for sure. That's just the reality. I'm just saying the reality is like, bro, if
Yeah,
everything is against you, like I said, like if the black pilled guys, they
no
believe
one's
that,
coming to
oh,
save you. Yeah.
no, yeah, no one's coming to save you. But the biggest thing is like, okay, if you know you're going to go into a fight with Mike Tyson, at least the least thing you can do to win is believe that you can win, right? And so the same thing with life, bro. Is like, yes, let's say I might be right, I might be wrong, right? It doesn't matter. Your belief should not change. Let's say Austin says none of you guys can make it, none of you guys can be successful. Does that really matter? No. Because if you have a true belief inside that I'm going to be successful, what Austin or what I say doesn't matter. But the issue is you're not going to have a lot of people like me in Austin who do support you. Most likely, you're going to have people who don't support you. But that shouldn't change either. The only thing that does matter
Mhm.
is your self belief. So that's very, very important.
Yeah, and the one thing that I would add on to this is that a lot of depression comes from overly focusing on yourself and what you lack and what's going wrong in your life. And it literally is as simple as doing cognitive behavioral therapy on yourself. And that's just a big word for meaning use. Yeah, he is a general advice for building chosen mindset. So, like, when you're having a thought, you need to pass it through several filters before you start to have an emotion. Okay. So, the next time you have a thought like, oh, fuck, I'm not good enough, something like that, I want you to pause and be like, okay, I see that I'm having this thought. Is this thought true? And you look at like, what's some counter evidence for this thought? So think, okay, well, I still have all my limbs. I still can speak English. Like, what's going well in my life that makes me feel like I am enough?
Yeah.
What? And then actually flip it on its head. Why is there no reason? Why is it that there is no reason why I'm not good enough? There's no
Yeah.
reason why I'm not good enough. So by flipping things on their head and changing your focus, it can really change your mentality. So instead of thinking about why you're not good enough, start thinking about what you can appreciate about yourself. Start thinking
Yeah.
about like the things that you have that people would kill for. Like, dude, if you have internet, a good phone, like there's a lot of people in the world that don't even fucking have that. You have clean water, air, like start focusing on those things. And at a very basic level, you can start to shift your mindset to a more and more positive and optimistic mindset. And the thing with positivity, it's not just like, oh, it's fun to be like some fucking hippie faggot that's just like, oh, everything's good. No, the reason why positivity is good is because it primes you to win, dude. Like, do you think Logan and
Yeah.
I are just like sitting around in a circle, like, let's all hold hands and be, we're all what? Like, no, dude. Logan and I are fucking like warlords, dude. We want to fucking win. Like, dude, I have a insane desire to win. I am competitive. I want to fucking win. I want to contribute. I want to give back to the tribe. Like, that is literally
Yeah.
my mentality. And if I'm positive, it's literally going to optimize my, game plan for achieving that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess general advice for billion towards Robbie. Thanks for donating the €10. Here's what we'll do actually for everyone who's donating. What we're gonna do to double down on this abundance mindset. I like to double down on everything. I will match what you guys donate, and we will give it out to someone today. I will go out today. So if you guys follow my Instagram, I will go post a story of me giving out the money that you guys donate on this podcast, and we'll give it out to some waitress or someone that we see, just to
GG.
double down on the abundance. But is there general advice for building a chosen mindset? Change anything always seems like an uphill battle for most people.
I've got good shit
Change,
on this.
yeah, yeah. Drop the sauce. Drop the sauce.
So the first thing, if you know what you want to become, if you know the person you want to become, Like for me, I want to be the number one dating transformation coach in the world. I want people to come to me like just like not knowing what the fuck to do. And then literally when they leave, they are like a completely different man and they are literally their best self. So that's what I want to become. And so I'm trying to think like how do I construct that person? What kind of beliefs and mindsets does that person have? And I want you to write down for yourself, what would a belief be that if you had it would make it more likely to attain that identity? And the way that you change belief is, number one, you want to, like I said before, visualize the pain of having those same beliefs for the next 5-10 years. Like if you don't believe in yourself, if you're self-critical, if you think that it's over for you, show yourself the pain of what that's going to cause you in life. Show the end result. Like if you show people that are like starting to use drugs, you show them like junkies after 10 years, they oftentimes don't want to do the drugs anymore. So see the pain of that, then attach the pleasure to it. What's the advantage of having an empowering belief? So take that belief and flip it on its head. Like, what are the beliefs that you need to have to, become like who you ultimately want to become? And then when you have that belief, it can be somewhat unstable in the beginning. Like this is a tabletop. Let's just use this. We got a tabletop here. And then you have this belief, and it's okay to build this castle in the sky, but you got to build the foundation. So you want to put the evidence to build it up underneath it.
Oh, that's
so that
fire.
evidence could be things like giving yourself proof, right? So like for me starting out, I thought there's no chance for a girl to ever like me in my life. I don't know why I thought that, but I was like, I'm probably going to die alone. That was literally the thought I had. And
waffle.
Essentially, dude, I'm so glad that content wasn't out back then. And so then I realized I need to start adopting a belief, and it might even seem delusional for me. Like I'm a ladies' man. Like I am fucking, women love me. That was like my new mindset, my belief.
Yeah.
And when I had that, I didn't really have that much evidence for it. But every time that I would go out and have an experience, I would interpret it in a way that builds up that belief. So it's like, boom, a girl smiled. It's because girls love me. Oh shit, a girl gave me her number? Obviously, dude, girls love me. I'm a ladies' man. Fuck yeah. And then let's say I get a rejection. I'm not saying it's because I'm a piece of shit and I'm going to die alone. No, I don't say that. If a girl rejects me, I say, dude, she's probably having a bad day. Like I have a bad day. You kind of don't let it destroy your belief. Eventually, once you have sustained sufficient wins over a long enough period of time, that belief becomes installed as the default. So I don't need to tell myself that women love me anymore because I have a girl that literally does anything for me. I have women that will die for me. I have women that are begging me to get into relationships with them again. I'm not. I love my girlfriend. But when a girl's on her knees, sucking your dick, looking up at you, like essentially worshiping you, you don't need to tell yourself these beliefs anymore. They are the default, right? And so eventually, I like this quote, belief is overrated. I prefer evidence. Like I prefer just like proof. Eventually the evidence becomes so overwhelming that you're like, I am that guy. I'm him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, a lot of people say, fake it till you make it, but I like to say believe it till you make it, right? That's a lot better, right? So having the belief and believing that I am this person, yes, like what Austen said, it's going to be a little unstable. Realistically, it's going to be unstable, okay? But your goal is to prove yourself right, okay? And to prove to be those things to be true. And humans naturally, we like to try to prove ourselves right. So when we have a belief system, humans like to grab evidence that proves that belief system to be true. So what you're doing subconsciously is when you have this belief, you're going to grab evidence, aka working out, talking to girls, and you're going to be building that foundation to actually make it true. Because subconsciously, your brain wants to align to that, which is cool. So what you're doing is when you have this delusional belief, you're going to be like, okay, I'm the guy. What would the guy do? What would this G do? What would this fucking savage do? Okay, he'd be working out every day. He'd be making a bunch of money. He'd be talking to a bunch of chicks. He'd be doing this, and that. And when you know the things you need to do, it makes it a lot easier. But also, you're going to try to align to that belief system to make it true, to prove yourself right.
Yeah, and a good way to find out what these limiting beliefs are is think about the last time you were rejected. Think about the last time you experienced some kind of like failure, and what emotions are cycling through your head, and what beliefs are cycling through your head, and what questions are you asking yourself. So like if you get rejected and you're asking yourself like, when will I be enough? the subconscious belief there is that you're not enough as you are. And the way to change that is to start identifying like why you're so awesome, basically. Like, and the best mindset to have when going out is essentially that I'm awesome. Let's see how it can become more awesome. My night is already fucking awesome. Let's see if it can get even more awesome, right? So you're already enough as you are, but self improvement is still a thing, right? It's still fun to do. It's a fun journey in and of itself.
Yep, 100%. What would you say the youngest someone should listen to one of your podcast videos? Bro, I have a really, really young audience. Austin knows this. Like, I have guys who are like 12, 13, 14, 15 listening to my podcast. But Austin, what would you say are some of the youngest people who listen to you?
I'll just say 18.
Bro, I was listening to you. I was listening. I was actually watching Austin when I was like 17. So there you go.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I don't know how it works. Like, can I don't know. I just don't want to get in legal trouble or something.
Oh, giving dating advice to young dudes.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff is like self development, and the stuff with
Let's just
dating
say that
applies to almost every other aspect of life.
we're teaching self development. Austin, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks, bro.
If you lose one of your brothers to a girl or other situation, would you accept them back into your life? Okay, cool. This is a good question because this happened to me very, very recently. Um, Austin, you remember the guy who was wearing the red shirt with me on the whatever podcast?
No, who's that?
Okay, so that was my best friend. I brought my best friend onto the whatever podcast like 2 years ago, right? And we were debating against this chick in the red hair, right? He ended
Okay.
up getting married to this chick, bro, and ended up simping for this chick. And when I found out he was simping for this chick, it was like, okay, what the fuck? And so I cut him off, whatever. But it was mostly because, this girl was like telling him in his ear, oh, don't listen to Logan. Oh, don't hang out with Logan. And he was actually listening to her. And all that showed me was this guy was weak, right? So if one of your homies or one of your boys that you're rolling with happens to be a fucking simp or happens to be a weak dude, you can't trust these people, bro. You can't trust them because if they're gonna backstab you for some chick or because of their emotions, because they like some girl and she told them not to hang out with you anymore, or whatever the fuck, um, you can't roll with those dudes. They're gonna stab you in the back for some pussy, and it is what it is. And same thing with business partners as well. Like I don't want to deal with any business partners who are simpy, who don't understand women, don't understand game, because I guarantee they get in a relationship, their productivity is going to go down, everything's going to go down. Like, and even when I track my sales team's metrics and shit like that, when I know they're getting distracted, that I know they have problems at home with girls when they start making less money.
Yeah.
It is 100% a fucking fact, bro. So not only does it hurt my business, but it hurts people that can actually be loyal to me. Yeah, I do not accept that behavior, and accepting them back into your life in terms of like, is this someone I can trust? The issue is you guys were both here growing as friends, right? Both growing as brothers. The issue is your boy took a step back to be in a relationship while you're still growing. And so he's trying to come back while you guys are at way different fucking levels of business, mindset, whatever. And when they come back, it's no longer we're equals and we're homies and we're boys. It's more of like it's like a student and mentor level of XP, if that makes sense. And so even if you do accept them back into your life, you're going to tell right away it's just not the same and it's going to be different. And it is what it is. And so that's why, you just have to understand that, some people are not meant to be in your life forever. And that's okay, right? It's just more of understanding that you can't trust these people, and yeah, he may be a trustworthy person now. He may have learned the hard way,
Oh
but
fuck, dude, I gotta go.
yeah, you gotta go. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I have
Okay,
some
that's
meetings too.
cool.
I'm gonna keep going. You're good. Go. You can go.
I have a.
You want to give a message? Give a message to the rest of the guys.
All right, thanks guys for watching. Optimize your health. You'll be super healthy. Fuck, dude, I have my final. I have like Invisalign basically. My final appointment for it is in 15 minutes,
Yep.
and it's a 30-minute drive away.
Oh
But
fuck.
yeah, if you guys like what I'm saying, follow me, Austin Summers on YouTube. Thanks, Logan,
Yep.
for having me. Thanks for setting this
Of course.
up. And
Yeah. Let's do it
yeah,
again.
catch you in the next one.
All right. See you, bro.
Later.
All right. I'm gonna keep doing this. All right. See you, bro. Cool. Let's keep going. Do we create new emotions as we age, or are we already born with all the emotions? Interesting. I think we already have access to all the emotions. I think it's just more people start to put more certain emotions on a pedestal. They start to care more about certain emotions, like what people think or something. They start to become more self conscious and more insecure. As kids, bro, we don't give a fuck about anything. Okay, I think as kids, you're like the most alpha, right? You just don't give a fuck about anything. You'll climb on a fucking table. You'll go climb a tree. You'll go slap some random chick's ass. That's the shit I was doing when I was a little kid. Okay, and over time, society, starts to beat you down, starts to tell you you can't do certain things, or they start to tell you you have to care about these certain things, and you start to become self-conscious, start to get caught up in your head. And I think that's a huge issue. I think Kanye West talked about it too. Is like when you're as a kid climbing up on the coffee table, is there anything actually wrong? No, but society has told you that's wrong, and so now the kid will never do it again. And so I think all of us have to experience that and then break out of that. Okay. And it's very, very important. And it applies to your business, it applies to making money, it applies to girls, everything, bro. Let's see. I'm 13. I've watched almost every video and podcast of you. You've given me so much confidence and happiness. I felt a bit lost for some reason before, but now I feel like you really have gave me the path. Cool. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. And I make these videos for everyone, and especially the young guys that I see myself in you, bro. When I was younger, I wish I had this stuff. I wish I had this advice. I wish I had people like myself, giving you guys the sauce on how to become more successful. And I guarantee, bro, when you're my age, you're gonna be way further ahead than I am. So it's really, really cool. Logan, make a public cold approaching video. I think I'll 100% do that. I'll do it with Austen too, because that'd be dope. Because he's the goat when it comes to that shit. Where can we contact you? Text you on Telegram a few weeks ago, but only one check. Yeah, so right now I'm super fucking swamped. I had some very, very big clients, some whale clients come in and want to work with me, and they're paying me more than six figs for me to help their business and to help them with some other stuff. And so that's my main focus right now. And I have some other programs and groups I'm still building out in the back end. But most of my time right now is helping those bigger clients right now. So right now I just have very, very limited time to respond to text. But if you guys want to contact me, go to Coach Logan Duong, CoachLogan on Telegram. So at Coach Logan Duong on Telegram, message that account. So I monitor it, but my assistant runs that one. And so you guys can ask any questions, whatever the fuck, and then she'll relay it to me. Same thing with my Instagram. If you guys have questions, hit me up on Instagram, the Logan Duong, and I'll actually pull up my link as well, just for you guys to see. Let's see. Yeah, cool. So this is where you guys can find my stuff. So loganduong.com/events. I'm doing events in person globally. So if you guys want to network and actually meet me in person, you guys can do that. I don't really have that much time to sit on my phone anymore as much as I used to. But yeah. How did you grow into this version of yourself? Do you believe in what the fuck? What is that word? Predestination? Oh. Um, hmm. I don't know what exactly you mean. I'm assuming that a predestination is like you already have like a designated path. I would say I believe in both. I believe I'm destined to do this, and I believe I did grow into this version of myself. So I believe in both. Um, and there's been certain experiences and things that I've fucked up in my life that have put me to where I'm at, and I think everything happens for a reason. And I think you could still control it, and you could still you know alter certain things. But I do believe all my mistakes or all my things I learned the hard way, all my heartbreaks, all my failures, all my losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, um, made me a lot smarter, and it was all for a reason because it made me learn the hard way, and same with people too. So everything happens for a reason. I don't really care, and I don't really dwell on it, right? But there's anything you struggle with? Um, Not something I'm struggling with, but what I'm doing right now is I'm building a lot of systems in place, and I think the main thing is time, bro. It's time. You know, um, we all have a very limited amount of time, but my time is constricted a lot to helping people, also helping my team members, growing other companies. I have multiple companies, and then obviously giving out advice and shit like that. it's hard to manage that time. But having systems in place, that's why I hired a bunch of new assistants, hired a bunch of different team members, and I paid a lot of employees to basically help free up some time. Logan, do you do OF management? No, I don't. I have a lot of other business partners though, and a lot of buddies I know that do OF management. And that shit prints fucking money. So I know a lot about the behind the scenes of the OF business and how it all works. And I see all the simping and how much money these girls are making. It's ridiculous. And I don't do it myself, but I know all the guys that do it. They fucking print. I don't have the time to do that shit, bro. Yeah, I may print money, make money, but I don't have time to be doing that shit. And it's just not worth it to me. I have a lot of girlfriends, um, and I do have a lot of super hot chicks that I know that do it, right? And you know, they print, and I may get some commissions here and there for finding some girls, but no, I don't do that stuff. This is what happens when you're in LA, bro. Like every single girl you talk to is just, oh, I do OnlyFans. Oh, okay, cool. It's just ridiculous. Do I like those girls? Fuck no. Logan, thoughts on looks maxing? I'm not gonna lie, I haven't gotten really into the whole looks maxing thing. I know a lot of my followers and a lot of people I know they do that stuff and they get really really heavily into that shit. But I have not gone too in depth with that stuff, so I can't really give you guys a in depth class. Maybe I'll bring someone on who knows about it. There's this one dude this black guy. He's on fucking IG, and he's like, he brings these people on, and they ask him some funny ass fucking questions, and like he's giving them advice on their looks and shit. So maybe I'll bring him on. He's funny as fuck. I forgot his name, but if you guys can comment, maybe I'll bring him. Does your advice on girls also work on shy girls? Yeah, bro. All girls are the same. All girls are the same. There's one girl I like, but she's kind of shy, and we haven't really got past the touch barrier. You haven't gotten past the touch barrier because you haven't even tried touching her. The fuck? But yes, all this advice works on all the same girls, bro. When are you gonna interview Sterling again? That's a good question. I think he's gonna be coming out to California again. He came to my house like 3, 4 months ago, I think. And you guys can watch that podcast with me and Sterling Cooper. We talked a lot about money, a lot about sex, a lot about girls, game, society, and you guys will definitely like that. But yeah, it was fun. Hanging out with Sterling's dope. He really liked the Cybertruck. I put him in the Cybertruck, and he was just having a blast with the Cybertruck, and he loved it. Logan, what happened to the Murcielago? I traded it for a Tesla. No, just kidding. No, I actually got rid of that thing, right? So me and my business partners, we sold it back to someone else, and then we reinvested it into some other vehicles. So yeah, no more Mercy, sadly. But it's also a piece of shit. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like, bro, like the Lambos are pretty fucking shitty. That one is a pretty shitty driving car. They look cool, but they're pretty fucking shitty driving cars. Like, and that's the same thing like pedestalizing it, bro. A lot of people pedestalize like Lambos and shit because they can't afford it, they don't have it. But once you actually get it, you're like, oh, this shit's like whatever. And you'll realize like the best driving car is a Porsche. 100%. The best driving car, best feeling car is a Porsche, hands down. But stay tuned. Audi R8 coming soon. Mm-mm-mm. Any tips for young guys to pull if they can't pull to their house because of parents? Cars, her house, and bro, I was fucking girls. Like I was sneaking girls in. I got caught by my dad probably like fucking like 4 times sneaking girls into the house, and because I wasn't allowed to either when I was younger, but I still did it anyway. Um, and if you don't want to risk that, I mean, you could try to finesse shit in public, I guess, or some shit. I'm not gonna suggest that to you guys, but I used to take girls out to the beach at night and then like lifeguard towers, whatever the fuck, when I was younger. But that was back in the day. Back in the day. Let's see. Um, from every coaching I've had so far, yours is the best one. From every coaching I had, yours is the best ones by far. I recommend to everyone. I have to go right now, but have a great one, gents. Yeah, Luca is a G, one of my students that was in my coaching program. Um, yeah, not gonna give out too much info, but it was great working with you, bro, and I'm glad to keep in touch with you. So, how to find a wife in college? Everyone was woke there, bro. Why are you trying to find a wife? Why do you care about trying to find a wife? Like, your priority should be, how do I have the most abundance and options? And I guarantee, here's the one thing, okay? And Sterling and I have talked about this. You're not going to just find wifey material, okay? You're not going to find just wifey material. And even if a girl is super woke, you can dignitize her and you can transform her into something that is not that bad. But would you wife them up? No, right? The girls you're gonna find to wife up are most likely not gonna be in college. You're not gonna find them in big cities or big states. You're gonna find them in the flyover states. You're gonna find them in a lot of places where not a lot of other hoes are at, basically. And you're not gonna find a wife in college. And if I was a betting man, you would not find a wife in college. Just the odds, okay? Um, but should you be focused on a wife anyway? No, right? You should be focused more on other things, I feel like, and getting good with girls, because at the end of the day, you could get in a relationship with any girl. What's the difference between a girlfriend and a wife? The only difference is a wife, legally, she has more leverage over you, and she can fuck you over financially. That's it. Nothing else. There's just two different names. Doesn't mean shit. So I wouldn't really care about having a wife, right? Having more girlfriends or whatever the fuck is more of my style. I prefer that. Any good ways to make money as a young kid? Hmm. Yeah, bro. Learning sales. Learning sales is huge. My sales guy recently made like 100K last month. So yeah, you can make a lot. Not last month, actually 2 weeks ago, my sales guy made like over 100K. So um, you learn sales, bro. I believe in sales, right? Not business isn't for everyone. It's actually, you know, it does take a while, and it's not for everyone. But I would say learning sales, you know, one thing that Ty Lopez talks about a lot is the agency model, things like that, helping small businesses grow their social media. That was actually the first thing I did to make money when I was a kid. So in seventh grade, I was approaching every single restaurant that I liked, and I told them, hey, I'm going to help you grow your social medias. I'm going to do this, that. And I did. So, because I understood social media back in the day when they didn't have social media. So I would go there, approach them with social media advice and business stuff. And they would pay me on a monthly retainer to help them, and commission too, as well, depending on how many people were coming into the restaurant. So that's an easy way, bro. Especially if you want to make money kind of online, right? That's what I like to do. I would not say, you can easily go shovel snow. You can easily go mow lawns. I've done that. You can go hang up Christmas lights. I've done that. You can easily go get a job at McDonald's, whatever. But I like to be in more control of my finances, right? And the more the sales stuff. So I would say that, right? You can actually make more money than being stuck hourly. Cool. So I'm gonna end this podcast here. I gotta go on another meeting. My assistant's texting me. I gotta do another meeting. But hopefully you guys got some good sauce out of this podcast. Went a little bit longer than expected, but dope. I'll see you guys next time.